Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into the potential of student-led physical activity breaks.
Yeah.
We hear so much about the importance of getting kids moving these days,
Right.
especially with childhood obesity rates rising.
Yeah.
And
And schools struggling to fit in
yeah.
enough PE time.
But what if instead of adding more to teachers' plates,
Right.
we looked at empowering the students?
Exactly.
That's what we're going to be looking at today.
Yeah.
We are diving deep into a research paper.
Love it.
And it's titled, Empowering Students to Practice Leadership Skills Through Physical Activity Breaks in the Classroom.
Catchy title.
Right.
Yeah.
The researchers wanted to test this idea. Could kids effectively lead those little short bursts of activity right in their classrooms?
And it's fascinating because it's rooted in, some really solid psychology. Think about it. You've probably seen this in your own life. Kids are sponges, right?
Oh, yeah.
They just pick up behaviors and habits from their peers all the time.
My niece wouldn't touch broccoli until she saw her best friend from daycare, gobbling it up.
There you go.
Now she's like a broccoli monster.
Exactly. So the researchers figured if kids see their friends leading and enjoying physical activity, maybe that enthusiasm will rub off, right?
Makes sense to me. So tell me a little bit about how they actually put this into practice.
Okay, so they worked with 33 elementary school students from kindergarten all the way up to 6th grade, and they gave them these special activity cards to guide the breaks.
Oh, cool.
Each card had a picture of one of the students, demonstrating a simple movement.
So not complicated dance routines or anything?
Not at all,
Okay.
like jogging in place or jumping jacks.
Oh, so basic moves anyone can do.
Absolutely, yeah. Anyone can do them.
Mm-hmm.
They focused on what are called fundamental movement skills, which are like the building blocks of more complex movements.
Okay.
So by keeping it simple and relatable, they made sure everyone could participate and feel successful.
I love that. Setting them up for success.
Exactly.
Gosh, I like it.
And they even used photos of the actual students performing the movements on the cards.
Oh, so it's like their own classmates.
Yeah.
Well, that's a clever touch.
Right.
That must have made it so much more appealing for the kids.
Absolutely. It really tapped into that power of peer influence
Yeah.
we were just talking about.
Uh-huh.
And they used this structured format called say, show, do.
Okay, say, sure, do.
Yeah.
Walk me through it.
Okay, so picture this. A student holds up a card showing, jogging in place.
Okay.
First, they say what they're doing.
All
We're going to
right.
jog in place. Then they show everyone by doing the movement themselves, and finally they give the signal to do it together.
Ah, so it's like
That makes sense.
a mini lesson in leadership,
Exactly.
in communication,
Yeah,
all wrapped up in this fun little break.
exactly. So with all these pieces in place, the cards, peer modeling, and the structure,
Yeah.
the big question is, did it actually work?
That's what I'm dying to know. Did the kids embrace their roles as PA leaders?
Yeah.
Did their classmates actually get up and move? Spill the tea?
The results might just surprise you.
Okay.
Hold on to your hats. We're about to dive into the data.
All right, lay it on me. What did the researchers find? Did this thing actually work?
Short answer, yes.
Nice.
And not just a one-time burst of enthusiasm.
Okay.
The data actually showed these student leaders were committed.
Really?
Over 70% of them led activities 4 or 5 days a week.
Wow, 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah.
That's commitment.
Right. Sometimes even go into other classrooms to lead activities.
Were the other kids into it, though?
Oh, yeah.
Were they,
It wasn't ooh, here we go again.
Right, exactly.
The researchers collected these weekly activity logs, and guess what? A whopping 78% of the students who led, they said they felt happy doing it.
That's
Not
odd.
a single student said they were unhappy.
That's pretty remarkable.
Right.
It really does sound like it was a genuinely positive experience
Yeah, for everyone involved.
for everybody.
I'm starting to think these researchers might be onto something pretty cool here.
I think so.
Did they uncover any unexpected benefits though? Anything beyond just the physical activity part?
Yeah, so that's where it gets really interesting. When they interviewed the students,
Okay.
a lot of them expressed this real sense of pride in being the leader.
Okay.
It wasn't just about getting to be the boss for a few minutes,
That-
They actually cared about their peers, succeeding and doing well.
I love that. Do you have any examples like what the kids actually said?
Yeah. So one of them talked about helping a classmate who was struggling with a certain move. And the student said, the girl didn't know the move at first, but she ended up doing it right and liked it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know,
You
right?
can really hear the pride.
Yeah. And it also just shows how this can create that environment where anyone feels comfortable to participate,
Yeah,
no matter, like, their skill level.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
What about the teachers? Oh, the teachers
What were they observing during all this?
gave incredibly positive feedback,
Really?
especially about the students' confidence
Okay.
and how clearly they could explain everything,
Yeah.
like, the instructions and everything.
I'm picturing like a second grader, marching into a fifth grade classroom
Solely.
to lead a bunch of like older kids
Right.
in an activity break. Like, how cool is that?
It really speaks to the impact on their confidence.
Yeah.
It also highlights how this can, like, foster that sense of community within the school,
Okay.
connecting different grades and everything.
I like that. Did the teachers notice any other benefits besides, the movement and the leadership?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
So remember how we talked about teachers feeling a little overwhelmed by having to, like, add one more thing to their plate?
Right. That was one of the challenges.
Yeah, so the researchers actually interviewed the school coordinators who oversaw the program, and they specifically said that this actually helped them.
Okay, so it wasn't just shifting the responsibility. It was actually like making the teachers' lives easier.
It was.
Tell me more about that.
Okay, so they said that, like, limited space in classrooms
Okay.
was often a barrier
Yeah.
to, like, teachers doing this.
Makes sense. I remember my elementary school classrooms being packed like
Right.
sardines.
Totally. So with these, activities, space became less of an issue
Right.
because, like, they could be done right there in the classroom.
Yeah.
Minimizing the disruption and really getting everyone to participate.
So it sounds like everybody was winning here.
Every
Students are getting more active.
Yeah.
They're building confidence. They're developing leadership skills.
Right.
And the teachers are seeing these positive changes without having to, like, take on more work.
Exactly.
Was it expensive?
So that's another plus, incredibly cost effective. Basically, the only expenses were printing and laminating the activity cards
Okay.
and the time it took to train the student leaders.
So no, like, fancy equipment or anything.
No.
Okay, I like that a lot. Now, I have to imagine, with any research, there were some limitations.
Uh-huh.
Did the researchers point out any potential downsides?
Yeah. So no research is perfect, of course.
Right.
There are a few things to consider
Okay.
before, like, jumping on this bandwagon.
I was wondering when we'd get to the but part of the story.
Right.
Lay it on me. What are the potential downsides?
So one thing they were concerned about was, like, variability in the implementation.
Okay.
Because the student leaders were basically running the show.
Yeah.
There was a chance that the activities weren't always done, with the same level of, like, enthusiasm
Right.
or, like, sticking to the say, show, do method.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're going to have some kids who are those, like, natural born leaders,
Right.
super enthusiastic, and then others who might be a little more, I don't know.
Laid back.
Yeah, laid back.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And that could impact the effectiveness of it.
Right.
So it really highlights the need for the teachers
Okay.
to, like, give support
Right.
and monitor to make sure things are being done, properly.
So it's not just like, here you go, kids, go run with it.
Exactly.
It's a little more,
It's a partnership
yeah, it's a partnership.
between teachers and students.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting research. Like, I think it speaks to this bigger idea
Yes.
that goes way beyond just elementary school.
Totally.
We often underestimate what kids can do,
We do.
and we think of them as like these passive recipients of
Right.
knowledge,
Yeah.
but they can be the ones to make the change.
And they were.
They're cool.
And the researchers saw, like, it wasn't just about
yeah.
the physical activity.
Mm.
It helped their self-confidence,
Yeah.
their sense of responsibility.
It reminds me of that quote
Oh, yeah?
by Marianne Williamson.
Okay.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate.
Okay, yeah.
Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
I love that quote.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like these kids tapped into that
Yeah.
without even realizing it.
Exactly. And this idea, it actually lines up perfectly with, like, some established theories on how we change behavior.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Bandura's social learning theory?
Ooh, vaguely, like from Psych 101,
Okay.
a long time ago.
It's basically the idea that, like, we learn by watching and copying other people,
Okay.
especially people we, like, admire or look up to.
Like my niece with the broccoli.
Exactly.
She saw her friend eating it.
Right.
And then she wanted to eat it.
So the students in this case, they were watching their peers
Yeah.
leading these activities,
Mm-hmm.
and that made them want to get up and move too.
And the pictures on the cards probably helped with that.
Definitely.
Right.
Like they were being led by, people they knew.
Right, not just some random stock photo.
Exactly.
Like that personal touch.
And the whole thing probably, made the student leaders feel more confident.
Yeah.
Like they could actually do this.
Yeah.
So they had the instructions, they had the format, they had, positive feedback.
Yeah.
All that really helped them feel like they could handle it.
It's amazing what something seemingly so simple,
I know, right?
like leading these little activity breaks,
Yeah.
can do for a child's sense of self and their own,
It's powerful stuff.
So this research was all about elementary schools. But what if we could take these same ideas
Ooh, I like where you're going.
and use them somewhere else? Like imagine high schoolers, right?
Totally.
They can be the ones organizing these movement breaks.
Yeah.
Or even
Or coworkers.
coworkers.
Like doing some stretches.
Right, to get that afternoon energy going.
Yeah, exactly. It's about giving people the power
Yeah.
to take charge of their own well-being.
It's such a cool thought, and it all goes back
Yeah.
to this simple but powerful idea.
Exactly.
Student-led activity breaks.
There's a really great lesson here.
Yeah.
It's not just for elementary school.
No.
It reminds us that, giving people the power, that feeling of community,
Yeah.
and creating a space where, well-being is important,
Yeah.
that can lead to so many good things.
So whether you're a student, a teacher, a parent,
Yeah.
or just someone who wants to live a healthier, happier life,
Absolutely.
take a page from this research, get moving, take on those leadership opportunities,
Yeah.
and create that positive, active environment for yourself and for the people around you.
Awesome. That's a great message to end on.
I think so too.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll catch you next time
See you later.
for another exciting exploration.
Bye.
Until then, keep on diving deep.